Nothing against the evil Scotsman, but, yeah, I don't want to do that right now. So, you're back. Truth on tap. The truth is spoken here, and nothing is smoking here. At least illegal. I have noticed a class of people. Maybe you know some of these people. Some of them are on Spreaker, actually. I could name names, but I won't. Do you know a certain type of person who, for some reason, I hate to point the finger at pot smokers, but they love to smoke pot, and then the next thing in their lexicon is yelling shit that they're mad about that usually has to do with the federal government or races. And then the third thing is they never do anything about what it is they're complaining about. You know what I'm talking about? Who are these people? Why can't we apply a label to them? I wish I could take the pot out of the equation, but it's always there. I always thought pot was supposed to mellow you out, chill you out. And these people yell, and they're fucking mad about everything, rarely have their statistics straight. I'm not hating on pot, man. Right now I'm drinking Mike's Hard Blood Orange, which my roommate said he didn't like, so I'm going to drink the stuff he doesn't like. But I'm going back to coffee after this. I don't feel like drinking tonight. Hours are strange. Got to get back to the Caps on Tap show. I was listening to Guy. He was talking about the sports show that he does, and he doesn't have a lot of crossover from his sports show to DJ Bad Guy and back, which I understand. So I don't expect any of you guys to want to check out Caps on Tap. If you are a hockey fan, you may find you enjoy it. Caps on Tap will be back online soon, trying to get into the season a little bit where things get interesting before we roll that bitch out. Maybe we should talk about whores right now. Whore, one of my favorite words to say. I said it a lot this past weekend at Roswell, and I like to scream it out. But if there's too many people around, then everybody gets offended because they think you're talking about them. Whore is a one-syllable insult that can just about fuck with everybody. I mean, I don't think guys mind being called a whore. Do you? I think they probably would take that as a pat on the back. You're a whore. Well, yes, I am. I get laid by the ladies. You know I'm in charge. I don't know. Let me make sure. Yeah, still coming through. KtAp BrInGs RaNdOm, and random is what you're getting right now. Let's talk about tips. I like to give you tips. I know some things. I told you earlier about using cliches without understanding what they even mean. Now, if you really want to be bright about it, get into the root of the cliche. Where did it come from? Why did it become cliche? I think Socrates was one of the many famous philosophers that spoke out against cliches. Cliches are almost, first of all, like any song you hear on a top 40 list that they play for 25 weeks straight, you don't ever want to fucking hear it again, do you, if you're a radio listener? So cliches are kind of the same way. People don't want to hear the same shit over and over. It's raining cats and dogs. I'm asking you, if you want to be more interesting and less hated by anybody, don't use cliches. Say it's raining hippopotamus nutsacks. Because first of all, that's going to terrify people and get their attention. And if you mean to relay to them that the rain is coming down at a dangerous level, well, hippopotamus nutsacks would be a way to give them that information in an interesting and unique way. It's raining fish vaginas. Fish vaginas are raining down from the sky. That'll get their attention. I always go with the sex reference. Sorry about that. I do believe that, here's an example. So if I wanted to start a new company and I said, I'm going to call this Spaceballs, not very original, there's a movie by that title already, but Spaceballs is going to be how we shape the spacecraft that will go to Mars. And it's not, this is just me off the top of my head. So what's special about Spaceballs? Well, first we're going to make the left part of the sack, the left nut, higher than the right one, because we're going to have to spin this scrotum in space to create gravity. So what we can do is we can have the astronaut stay in the upper, higher left nut side and have a small drainage tube for any fluids that they may produce, and let that drain down to the lower hanging right ball side. So we've got it spinning. We've got the right ball's hanging lower than the left. And there's another great thing about that. For any small meteorites or asteroids out there, they'll hit the right nut side because it's sticking out further as the thing spins to create gravity. So you're safer in the higher, more recessed left nut area. Now, you could also have that sealed off, except for, of course, the drainage there, but you could have a reverse vacuum tube or something on that. So you want to live, the whole moral of that story is if you go to space and you're going to Mars, you probably want to stay in the left nut side. And I'm just giving you that advice as a general thing. You may find it's different on your spacecraft to maybe make the right nut higher. But if you go to space, headed to Mars in a nut sack, and the left nut is the higher nut, the more recessed one, go to that one. Stay in the left nut. If you're going to Mars, and that's the whole moral of my story, go to Mars in a left nut. That's your best bet. I'm trying to keep you alive, bitch, okay? So don't hate on me for that. By the way, the guy in the profile picture is me. Where did that picture come from? I don't have pictures of myself laying around. My buddy Joey. God damn that son of a bitch. Joey, out in Texas. I know where you live, motherfucker. I love Joey. Love him like a brother. But he keeps bringing up these old Air Force photos that have me in compromised positions. And this is one of them. I was making the Joker face in school, and there goes the KtAp. Yeah, I was prettier back. I'm not as pretty now. I'm more distinguished looking now. I have a distinguished cock. I have a distinguished ass. I have a distinguished right knee. My spine is distinguished. I have a distinguished nose, chin, lips, and eyes. I'm distinguished. I'm a distinguished gentleman. Except I'm not always gentle. But I am always a man. Here's another thing we're going to talk about. Spreaker. Beta males. Okay, listen. Guy hates beta males. Some of you guys dislike beta males. I'm saying be careful about the line you draw, because someone who's just being nice to a lady is not necessarily a beta male. It's once that lady starts getting disrespectful and abusive to him, and he still lays down like a little puppy dog because he's afraid she'll cut him off, that's the person who's a beta male. He's going to take the abuse. If you deserve the abuse because you fucked up, you should take it. Justice. Everybody has a desire for it. We just have varying degrees of belief on what justice is. I say, if you have not earned the criticism or abuse you're getting from your woman, don't lay down and take that shit. Kick her directly in the vagina. Now, Ronda Rousey is somebody I warned you about. I can no longer warn you about Ronda Rousey because she got knocked the fuck out. Yeah, the fix is in, bitch. I think that fight might have been fixed. You know there's going to be a rematch. You know Ronda Rousey's going to win, and then you have a rubber match. So you've got 2 more fights guaranteed. To me, Ronda Rousey's fight is on the ground. Did you ever see her go to the mat there? She could have easily moved in and grabbed that lady's leg. Karen, whatever her name is, or I don't remember her name. But she got knocked straight the fuck out. So Ronda Rousey is no longer a threat. You got to watch out for the other woman coming to your door now. Taser. Get a taser, shoot her in the face. You know, you don't have to take abuse from women. You don't have to. If they kick you in the penis, kick them directly in the vaginals. The alternative, I guess, is take the abuse. And so many men know but will not admit that the fear is you're cut off. God, I'm so glad I don't really need sex very often. It's very empowering. It is. It changes the way you look at everything. We were watching one of the Mockingjay or whatever movies. My friend's trying to catch me up on these movies. And the lead actress is pretty, and you know, she was young in the movie, but she's like 23 or 25, something like that. And I was looking at her thinking, she's pretty, but she looks too manly. She has big jawbones, and she makes me think, here's a weird thing. All right, I don't remember her name, but the lead actress in the Mockingjay movies, if you ever watch boxing, there's a guy named Ruslan Provodnikov. She looks like his twin sister, honestly. And when I see a man's face in a woman, I can't shake that thought. Can't shake it. Yeah, that's just me. What do you think, Mr. White? Yeah, you still have no opinion on the drink. Well, this is the last one I'm drinking. Mike's Hard Blood Orange. Sex. Should we talk about sex? That's a big one. What do you guys like? Doggy style, missionary, freakish stuff? Do you need toys, tools, ropes, cuffs? Nah. Me? How much can I say on this show? I'll just say that I'm very basic and I don't have any strange fantasies. And there are certain women poses when they're naked that will get a reaction out of men every time. Isn't that weird? You could be a perfectly faithful husband on a plane flight, and one of the attendants, female, drops her drawers and bends over in front of you. And all kinds of thoughts race through your head, but what you don't have a choice over is how your body reacts. Isn't that weird? No choice. It's just going to go boing, 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 automatic. Makes you wonder what caveman days were like. Was it like the movie Caveman, where lady bent over at the stream and the guy just ran up and fucked her? I don't know. I think that'd be a simpler world. If it were consensual. And if she said no and hit you with a stone, then you got to back off. But, you know, they bend over, show you that, yeah, I'm going to go hit it. Yeah. I don't know. I've been to a strip club before. I liked it. I liked the lap dance. That felt, you know, because she looked like a superstar model actress. That was pretty cool. And I got to fantasize about what kind of world it would be if I could have a girl like that, loyal and faithful to me. Oh, yeah. Forget about it. Forget about it. Man, if you have a pretty lady, men are always lined up looking for the chance. And that comes from an area deep in the brain that wants to produce attractive offspring, and you have no control over it. All you're thinking is, she hot, man. We're fucking retarded, humans. We have so long to go. If aliens have come here, it makes perfect sense that they wouldn't want to discuss shit with us. We're not reasonable. Our emotions dictate everything. When we try to do reason, we can only get reason out of our best scientists, and they never get laid. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's epidemic. If you didn't know, in recent news, there was a recent creation. I don't know who made it. I think it's actually Lego that makes the slippers, but they're slippers that are designed to protect you from Lego pieces, for those of you that have children. Personally, I'm not that excited about the new Star Wars, and I'm even less excited about the dumbass race discussions going on. This show's anti-white. Why? Because they put a black guy in a lead role. Oh no, whatever will we do? Some racism is natural, though. I accept that in humans. I just expect them to overcome it with reason and logic. And kindness. Especially these fucking people calling themselves Christians. Don't do it. Don't do it, human. I will call you out. These people calling themselves Christians that then get on and talk about an entire race in a negative way, you're not a Christian. You're just not. And that goes for other religions, too. Just about every major religion out there, as I scan my brain, I'm having to go back to my college days now, so it's jumbled, but has a central tenet of accepting and being tolerant, and yet you don't see it from the people in those religions very often. So right there should show us as a species that we're not real good at adhering to rules of those things we claim to love, protect, and defend. Are we? I don't think so. I was thinking about free speech today. Now you think, well, that's kind of an obscure topic, Kevin. I mean, it's so wide and, you know, you can't really focus. Yes, you can focus. I'll give you an example. There's a page on Facebook. I don't know if it's a magazine or a website or what, but it's called Bro Bible. It's, you know, shit for guys. And the fuck is that? Okay. Anyway, Bro Bible. So Bro Bible is talking about instant karma. And one of the articles they present, there's a homeless guy sitting there, white dude. All right, two black guys walk up. One's leaning against the wall. He's not doing anything. The other black guy gets down in the homeless dude's face and is picking on him. You can see him kind of making these provocative gestures and shit like that. And, you know, if you're like me, and most people, they'd be like, leave the homeless guy alone, you know, regardless of what color he is. Well, this other guy walks up to the brother that was picking on the homeless guy. The homeless guy gets up and walks away. He doesn't like what he's hearing. There's no audio in this, so you can't really tell. This guy walks up. I think he was a white guy. I can't remember if he was white or Hispanic. But he punches the black guy. And the black guy gets up and he punches him again. And finally the black guy gets up and comes at him again. He punches him a third time and knocks him out. And what Bro Bible called this was instant karma. And what I said in the comments, because I'm always looking to check people's beliefs, is I said, Bro Bible, so what you're saying is free speech bad, assault good, right? Because no matter how much of a dickhead that black guy was being, free speech. You can say whatever you fucking want in American public.